Right, welcome back. Last time we took out Arcadia, which is basically Florida, just Aragonese, or Catalan. Depends on whether you want to go for the country or their primary culture. Yeah, that is pretty much about it for the moment, though. Yeah. I will say this, my mill points keep getting higher and higher, and I keep hitting a limit. So, I might do some things that would burn more mill points, because I really don't see any use for them outside of military stuff. I mean, that's kind of the point, but still, I mean stuff like getting new generals, or using it to speed up sieges by forcing a breach, etc. However, I'm not at war, and I don't plan on going to war for a while, so not really useful. At the very most, yeah. It's just gonna be used for helping with revolts. I also ended up getting a bunch of merchants, yep. The merchants list is getting a little bit long on the ledger. I might actually remove it. You know what? Okay, let's do it. Wow. There's no longer a scroll bar. Really? Almost all of these? Let's go for discipline, actually. Discipline is probably going to be very useful. Okay. Right, time for more tech. So, trade unions. Rural goods produced plus 5%, urban production efficiency plus 5%. Well, so just boost to rural production by 5%. Wow, that's actually a bit. The gold standard, trade efficiency plus 2%. Detached wells, military tactics plus 0.75, artillery fire plus 0.5, artillery shock plus 0.1. I might invest into that. Which just costs 582 points. Oh yeah, that's because my base cost for my mill tech, if you ignore ahead of time, the actual cost is less than half the base cost. At just under 200 points. Yeesh! I forgot how much I've been. Well, actually, it's plus 95%. There's a neighbor bonus of minus 5%, which would be enough. Okay, so it is just around 200. If you exclude context bonuses like ahead of time and neighbor bonus. But I don't need the innovativeness. I mean, I might do this. I think I'll wait until I am almost full. At the very least, exploring forward with Miltech might allow me to figure out how many techs are left. I know for a fact that there's at least tech level 56, otherwise this idea group would not exist. But anything more than that, I'm not sure. So tech level 60 apparently. At least according to land morale, and Miltech has another buff at 59. Max morale cultures, well, okay, global sector increase at 58. Where do you get max morale cultures? Rank 6 pathing apparently is supposed to only be unlocked at 55. Double tech 55. Okay, so there's a 57. Naval maintenance has no modifiers. Okay, 56, 59, 46. Yeesh. I'm just gonna ignore that. Tech level 60 for production efficiency. 59, 59, and 56. So it does seem like the maximum tech level is 60. However, it's not going to be easy to achieve that level, simply due to a variety of reasons. Among other things, the game is supposed to end at around 1856. Which means that the ahead of time penalty, well, only fully disappears, well, it fully disappears for the last time 40 years from now. So there's 4 more techs that I can get without any ahead of time penalty, and that's tech level 56. Trying to go any further will incur a heftier and heftier tech penalty. But I also have so many points, especially mill points, that I don't have any other use for this stuff. Plain and simple. And Connacht is too large for vassalization. Oh well. Oh hey! And this is actually incredibly convenient. Because with this timing, I can free the peasantry and there won't be that much effect. Though I will probably stick to just freeing the peasantry for the moment. Especially since there's not exactly much I can do to appease the nobility. Right, okay. So, free the peasantry. 40 loyalty, yeesh. This cost me 10 legitimacy and 2 stability. But I finally have it. Free peasantry. Plus 10% rural production. Excellent. Although I'm uncertain if this is rural production efficiency or something else. I mean, it's gonna be difficult finding it even in the modifiers. Material cost for projects appears so many times. But yeah, let's see. Okay, rural production. Rural production efficiency. Okay, so I guess that is urban production efficiency. That, okay. Yearly revolutionary zeal. Okay, so I just see rural production efficiency, which appears to be an admin tech buff. There's also urban production efficiency, if I remember where the U is. There it is. But I don't see anything under P that is related to production, so it really is just production efficiency, okay. I mean, with rural stuff, that doesn't actually matter. Because none of the rural stuff actually has an input. It's pure output production. Oh, outside of industry. Okay, so there is that cottage industry that I believe takes in inputs. But the exact values don't really matter. Castillo is no longer a valid rival. Excellent. Out of the way. Peasantry will very quickly become more free, happier. So revolts will be easier, well, will be less powerful simply because the peasantry will have less reason to revolt. And world production will be increased, and, as the last bit, the gentry will have a lot less power because freer peasants are much more difficult for the nobles to bend to their own interests, which reduces their power eventually due to decreasing wealth. In other words, they're no longer able to tax the peasantry even more effectively than I can. They won't be able to tax at all. Captured a light ship and 2 transports. Huh. I'm also perfectly capable of blockading every single province of coastline for Friesland. Jeez. I'm actually surprised. On the other hand, when every coastal province has less than 20 dev. What? I was expecting more development out of the Netherlands. Wow, okay. Huh. Huh. Alright. Time for a peace deal. This province, and nothing else really. Don't have much interest in Friesland's other territories. The Philippines are just flying too far away. I have little interest in West Africa. It's mainly just the New World. I have no need for X prestige either, so... Money it is. Money it is. Come on. Let's get you back up first. And yeah, let's stop here. So, right, we just entered that war with Friesland and got a new province out of it. Yay! It's not much of a province. But, well, I had to kick out Friesland eventually, and that was a good opportunity to do so, since Bohemia is not interested at all, since they've got a huge amount of debt, and they also happen to be the Emperor. Yeah, despite being Hussites. Woohoo! Hussites. Anyway. Oh, the grain mill. Right, I keep forgetting about the grain mill. Anyway, so, not just the grain mill needs to be refreshed, but in actual news is that one has occurred. The old ruler died, and now we got the new one, as well as an heir. That's pretty subpar, but that can be dealt with later. So, first thing I did was free the peasantry. So, peasants are going to be a lot happier. It's a lot more, well, they're going to be a good bit freer, which helps them evade the thumb of the nobles. And, plus members into rural production, which is excellent. This will have a great impact on the economy. I can't tell by that. I'm sure my property income has increased dramatically from this. Yes, it has. Previously it was around 1,500, and now it's at over 3,000. I mean, the boost is probably not going to last for that long. For the simple reason that so much production is going to cause prices to drop inevitably among rural goods. But it's still amazing to be able to do something like that. It's great. Also teched up. And I've also done another admin reform, specifically basic, well, entry requirements, basic education. This was really mainly just to improve elite loyalty and also take advantage of the fact that my provincial corruption is dropping rapidly, so I may as well increase it slightly. The main reason for that, though, is because I specifically did anti-corruption measures, which are still active for another, well, there's going to be two more yearly pulses for that to apply, and then after that it's going to disappear. But I have noticed that my resting point for provincial corruption is really low at around, well, it's below 10%, which is really good. And my state corruption, the resting point is around 8. Maybe even, okay, it's not 7, but it's closer to 7 than it is to 8. Around 7.3, 7.4, which is incredibly good for M&T. Of any kind of M&T. Of course, that's assuming that the executive authority is maintained because power void reasons. I can pretty much assume that when the heir assumes the throne, it's going to be either 333 or 332. Which is going to cause a good bit more power void than I currently have. Which comes from 444, so plus 11.1. The way it's calculated is you take the lack of authority, which in this case would be 33.3%, square it, so 0.333 squared, and then you multiply that value by 100, which leads with 11.1. Okay, so with 333, we're going to assume 333, it's 50% authority, so 0.5 squared is 0.25 multiplied by 100, 25%. So that's going to raise the resting point by an entire 14 units. So instead of corruption being a lot higher than its resting point, instead it will just be a bit higher if we assume the current value, which isn't great. I also have mentioned multiple times that my mill points are very, very high. I have been running low on uses for them. I may start to go up extra in mill tech, especially since I have noticed that the maximum level seems to be 60 for technology. And the ahead of time penalty, the way it works with it being every 10 years, the last tech to not have an ahead of time penalty is tech level 56. So the end result is there's actually quite a few extra tech levels that aren't accessible. At least not in this version of the game. At least they're not as accessible as they should be, assuming an infinite timeline. Oh well, I am assuming that the game ends in 1856, 1857, so... Oh well. Quarantine going good, and all that, occasional revolts, etc, etc, etc. Stability problems, but they're getting fixed-ish. The grain dole expiring has not helped with that. But yeah, that should be good for now. The economy's doing, well, economy's doing great, balance is doing good too. Especially since freeing the peasantry, it boosts rural production by a lot. And a plus 10% boost is actually a lot when it comes to profitability. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then.